Coming into this one, I just knew that, it's coming into Christmas break, and I know guys is ready to go home and celebrate the holidays with their family. So, we just all came out with a mindset we ready to fight and we ready to take care of business and be able to have a Merry Christmas.
In terms of that, I guess, how did you feel you all kind of executed the game plan today? It seemed like you all were trying to take threes and kind of dominate the paint. Was that essentially what the game plan was, and how did you execute it, in your opinion?
Our game plan really was just to come out and stay aggressive on offense and really be aggressive on defense. We know Eastern Washington is a really well-coached team, and those guys can really fill up points in a hurry. And we just try to do the best job we can to make sure that we neutralize them as much as we can on the three-point line and just have as much presence as we can inside.
From your perspective, with the ups and downs you've had with your offensive game, I guess what's been the key for you to kind of get yourself in double figures, and what do you feel has been the lack that's not allowed you to get into 10, 12 points throughout these?
I've been watching a lot of film, and I honestly feel like I just been missing shots, and I always been a confident player ever since I started playing basketball. So I know that I just got to keep on staying aggressive, and eventually those shots are gonna fall. So just sticking with the plan, sticking with the work, and just trusting it and just keep going.
Clarence, from your perspective, how did you feel Bryson kind of started you guys off on two runs where you went 9-0 and 10-0? He had the first points. Did you kind of feel like he was starting you all off pretty well?
Yes, we have big confidence in Bryson. We want him to have the ball, so we're going to give it as much as we can because we know what he can do, Like, we know if we give him the ball, he's a weapon in offense, so we're just going to give it to him.
Bryson, you just kind of mentioned it too about making sure that you guys were playing well defense near the three-point line. When it started getting close in the beginning of that first half, when did you guys feel that you started to really crack down towards the perimeter?
We knew that we had a couple of lows in our defense and allowing them to be able to score, and they hit a couple of early quick threes. And our coach been harping on it all week in our preparation with Eastern Washington that they're a team. You make mistakes, they're going to capitalize on it. And which they did, and they did a really good job of that. So, we just had to crack down, make sure that we were playing hard on defense and doing it the right way, how Coach Adams wanted us to do it, and we did that tonight, and then we ended up coming out victorious with that.
And kind of for both of you, something I've noticed about you guys that you'll start clapping, getting rowdy on the bench when you feel like you're starting to lock a team down in the zone. When do you know that you guys got a guy locked down like that?
We really know, when we start getting turnovers and we start getting transition baskets, and just making it hard for other team when we can see the other team struggling to get into their offense or struggling to get anything going. We know that we're doing a good job and everybody's staying active and being in the spots they need to be at the right time. So, it's really exciting. That's what Texas Tech is built on, is all about defense. So, that's what gets us hyped the most.
Bryson, obviously you talked about it, and obviously Mark has been putting that emphasis on how Texas Tech wants to play defense. Do you feel like this game was sort of that, turning point for you guys to really turn up the defense and from going on from here?
Oh, most definitely. We try to build on every game that we play. We've been working vigorously on it in practice every day, working on it individually and as a team defense and individual defense. And just the hard work is paying off tonight, and we're gonna carry that on going forward.
And then Bacho obviously sort of taking on this persona as, the fan favorite when he gets in the game and things like that. How have you sort of seen him embrace the role that he's been given so far?
Bacho, he's different, man. Bacho, he's 7 foot and athletic and can block shots and he can slide with guards, and his offense is coming along very nicely. Bacho's gonna be a big problem for a lot of people that we play against. He's a really big piece for this team, and he's continuing to grow. And I'm just really happy to be a teammate alongside with him.
And then for either of you guys, obviously there's been players in and out of the lineup. Terrence missing the last two. Kevin's missed a couple. But how big is it for you guys to be able to adapt your game depending on who's out there, at what time and who's not available?
I think this team got a lot of weapons, a lot of pieces, so we're not depending on anybody. We miss them, but everybody's ready to come play, and that's why we work so hard, every day during the week. Everybody got to come ready to play.
All right, appreciate it, guys. We'll be right back, Coach Adams.
Coach, to start off with, just could you assess the overall play tonight, considering the level of the competition? How would you rate this performance compared to everything else you've
Yeah,
seen?
I'm very pleased the way we played. I thought this is one of our best games, start to finish. We played with a lot of intensity. We shared the ball. I had 17 assists. I thought we did a great job on defense, guarding the three-point line, and I thought our guys just played together. So I thought it was the best team effort. We had, 4 or 5 guys in double figures, and the score really isn't indicative of the game. That first 10, 12 minutes was a dogfight, and give Eastern Washington a lot of credit. They're a very good basketball team. They're going to win a lot of games. They've already beaten Oregon State and played Colorado very close, and I think they'll do very well in the Big Sky. But they made us better today, and so it was a great game to end on going into the Christmas holidays.
And they only shot 18 field goal attempts inside the arc and 35 outside of it. Is that something that you liked to see?
We did that. That was their their scheme is that on offense they like to try to drive and then kick it out for threes, and they're a three-point shooting team, and that's their identity. We knew that going in, so we had to really work on make sure we're closing the gaps, and then fan back out and contest those threes. I thought they were, for the most part, pretty consistent at not giving just wide open looks.
Kind of bouncing off that, I mean, not the first team that shot that many three-pointers against you guys. Are you even surprised about that at this point with how many shots that people are taking beyond the arc?
I think that's a norm across the country. I think more teams are shooting three-point shots, especially some of these mid and low Division I schools. That's the way they can be a giant killer, and Eastern Washington came in here just to do that, and so I thought they had a great game plan. It worked pretty well for them the first half of that 10 minutes or so there, and so we were scrambling and trying to catch our breath because they had us on the run there for about 3 or 4 minutes. But I really appreciate the guys the way they responded. After a couple of timeouts, we made a few adjustments, so we were putting more pressure on the ball, and I thought that was really the difference in the game.
Adonis had another big game offensively
He
today.
did. Played really well and also played better defensively. We're seeing his skill set, the things he can do off the dribble, his three-point shooting and finishing. He's a special player, and I know those other guys played well. I thought Bryson had a good game, and seeing him, glad to see him back in double figures. Kevin O'Banner had 4 assists. We're excited to see that. And then Kevin McCullough had 5 assists, and I don't think he had any turnovers. So he, playing the point guard, these are things we need out of him. So with that said, I thought everybody accepted their role and did what they were supposed to do to help us win.
It's hard to beat a team when it just seems like people are sharing the wealth like that, and everyone's stats are so well-rounded.
Yeah, that's something I told them after the game. What a great Christmas present that is for me and the entire team, that we were in the giving spirit. We shared the ball and defensively we were helping each other. So I was again very pleased of the teamwork that we had today.
And then you guys have the break obviously coming up now. Is there anything that you guys are going to try and crack down on before this, real last conference or non-conference game?
I think we're making steps every game to get better, and we've still got to tighten up a few areas. But I think our still like to push the ball a little harder in what we're doing and trying to get the ball down to get set up and get the ball maybe inside a little quicker. But other than that, I think we're getting about where I think we need to be and getting ready for conference play, which is right around the corner.